Welcome to another Cinema 4D tutorial. My name is Nick, and today we are going to create an abstract displacement looping animation. So this is going to be a two-part series. The first series we're going to focus on putting the scene together, and as well as setting up the camera and the lighting, as well as the animation. And then in the second part, we're going to focus on just the rendering and the texturing. So that way we could just go over things quicker, and that way you guys can process the information a lot better. So without further ado, let us begin. I'm looking forward to doing this because I know this is going to be a fun one. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm pretty much just going to set up everything. So I'm gonna start with the viewport, so I'm gonna press Shift V, and what I'm gonna do is, oh, I thought I pressed it. There you go. So I'm gonna go to view, and then I'm gonna change it to 90%, so that way we know our bounding box is over here. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up the project file. So I'm gonna press Control D, or you can press Command D on Mac. And I'm going to change the frames per second to 25. Oop, sorry about that. So you could set it to 24 or 30 frames per second, but I'm just going to set it to 25. So it's really up to you how you guys want to set it. So the maximum time and the preview max time, I'm going to set it to 120. So now we pretty much have our project settings. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our Octane settings real quick and go over that real quick. So by default it goes to direct lighting. This is probably something that I don't go to as much. I usually go to path tracing. I think you get much better shadows and they're more realistic compared to direct lighting. And then I'm going to change the Octane settings. So I'm going to bring this window over here, and you can change the max samples. I kept it in the file that I was working on to this number, but I'm just going to change it to 1000 so it can just render faster. And generally speaking, the GI clamp, I just set it to 1. And afterwards, I'm going to go into my Cinema 4D settings, change this to Octane Render. I'm going to change the preset to 1920 by 1080. You could also play around with the width and height as well. I'm also going to change the frame rate to 25 to make it consistent with the project settings over here. And the frame range over here is something that I usually forget, so make sure to set that to all frames, so that way when we animate this thing and we render it, we get all the frames. So alright, so we already set up everything. Now I think it's time to basically set up the scene. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a plane. So let's bring a plane, and you can generally play around with the width and height, but I just set it to 200 by 200, as well as setting the width and the height segments to 200 by 200. Now the reason why we want a lot of segments is so that there's a lot of polygons, so that way it just tends to be more smoother that way. So the next thing I'm also going to do is I'm going to bring a displacement. So I'm going to make that into a child of the plane. So by holding Shift and pressing the displacer, it automatically gets attached to the plane. Now I don't play around with the strength or height, so we can leave that as is, and we could just go to the shader and set to noise. Now automatically you can see we're getting some bumpy hills over here, but we're going to change that. So we're going to go to the noise settings, and we're going to change that to Voronoi 1. So now it looks kind of rigid, but once we play around with the settings, we're going to get a better result. So I just want to let you guys know that I already have settings that I've already placed already. But if you want to follow along, feel free to follow along. But I highly encourage you guys to play around with the settings to get different results. And I look forward to seeing what you guys make with those different results. So without further ado, let's just go with my settings for now. And like I said, you guys can follow along in this tutorial. So we're going to change the global scale to 400. So now it looks something like this. And then we're also going to change the animation speed to 0 to 0.1. Now, you can also mess around with the speed as well. I kind of like it to be a little slow. So I'm just going to set it to this. And I'm going to set the looping period to 5. So now, if I play this now, you can see that it's playing right now. And it's moving around. So now that we're done with that, the next thing I'm going to do is set the absolute on and also send the cycles to 4. So now we get something like this. And if you scroll up, now it's looking all circular. There's just a lot of interesting patterns going on. But the problem is now is that it's too rigid and it just looks very choppy. So how can we fix that? So one way we could fix that is we can bring a smoothing and we could just basically hold shift, but we shouldn't make it into a child of the displacer. We should make it a child of the plane, but bring that below, and automatically you could see that it's starting to smoothen. But if you look closely, it still looks choppy, and we want to fix that even more. So what I'm going to do is pretty much bring a subdivision surface and make that a child of that, and you can see now that it looks even more smoother than ever. And if I play, you can see my viewport being very slow. So if I turn this off, you can see that it's going a lot faster. So that way we get an idea of what it looks like when it's smooth. So that way we know what we're playing around with. So now that we're done with that, I think it's time to duplicate this thing and kind of make the same thing that I made in the render. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a copy of this. And if I go into the displacer, I'm going to change just 2 things. So instead of this going to black, we're going to set this to white. So we're going to reverse the colors. And then you're going to get this result. So now you can see if I play this, we're pretty much making the exact thing that I showed you in the beginning of the video. So now we got everything set up. And now I think it's time to pretty much fire up our Octane Render. And as you can already tell, like, it's too washed out. So what we can do is set up an HDRI. So if we go to Object, HDRI Environment, click on this box. I usually go for the Artistic Workshop. I already provided this in the previous video, but I'll also provide it in this video as well, just so you guys can have it. And I'm going to say no. And already we're getting some really good lighting just from that. And if I go back to the texture over here, I'm going to set this to 1.2. And I'm also going to rotate it around to get different lighting. So it depends on what you want to go for. But I'm already liking something like this. So if I go over here, then I'm going to pull out an Octane camera. I'm also going to change the f-stop to 1. And like I said, you can play around with the f-stop if you guys want. And then I'm going to also change the Octane camera and make it into a telly. So that way we get a more interesting viewing angle. So I'm going to go in. Let's go back a little bit. And I think this is already interesting as it is. Let's just zoom in just a little more. And maybe we're going to try to focus on this. So what I like to do to kind of play around with my composition is add the grid and also bring the golden spiral. So if we, let's say, make this go this way. It just depends on what you want to go for, really. But ultimately, the goal is that we're making interesting patterns. And so if I turn this on, you can see in the viewport that it looks so much better. Okay, yeah, so I fired it up again because it was a little choppy here. But that looks pretty cool already. So now what I want to do is pretty much work on the animation aspect of this piece over here. So what I want to do is I'm going to go to my displacers here. I'm going to go all the way to 0. And what I'm going to do is go to Object. Oh, actually Shading. And I'm going to set a keyframe for this one. And then I'm also going to bring this all the way to 50. Now I'm going to explain why I'm going to make it halfway. You could also make it into 55 as well. And then let's make this to like 1,000. So it's going to get bigger. Maybe lower it a little bit. Let's make it 600. So it's going to go from 400 to 600. And so I'm going to set this. Now, if I turn off my subdivision surface so we can see what's going on, you could see that it gets bigger. But now we have to try to basically animate it so it goes backwards so that it could start looping. So what I like to do is I'm going to go to my window and bring in my dope sheet. Now, automatically, you can see pretty much everything here. Now, if I drag everything here, I'm going to set this into a linear pattern. And I'm also going to hold Control and make a copy of this. So then you have something like this. Now you can see we have 120 frames. So maybe setting it at 55 wasn't a good idea. But like I said, we could just fix that right away. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab everything that's here and just basically reverse it. So put this here and then put this all the way to 120. I think that should be good. So let's kind of look at the animation and kind of see what we did. And let's see what happens. So as you can see now, as it moves, it loops back. So this is the kind of effect that we're trying to get, where it kind of goes big and then small and then big and small like a wave. So that's good. I think we pretty much achieved that. And let's just turn on the subdivision surface so you guys can see. Let's fire this up again. So if I play this, it's going to run very slow. So I think we already got a good idea of what's going on. I'll probably play around with the camera and maybe move this a little. Let's make it 75. Oh. Maybe it was 175. There you go. 175, 165. Just make it, you know, even here. I think that looks good. Let's set this to 60. And let's make this to -35. Actually, I kind of like it at 36. And then let's also highlight this one over here. So then you can see we're blurring this already. And I think that's about it, guys. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the second part of this tutorial. Thank you all for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, comment. And I'm looking forward to pretty much rendering this and lighting this. And I'll see you next time. So take care.